Page 118. Activity 2. Completing line graphs. Graph number 1.
Graph 1 gives statistics on American women in the U.S. labor force. In 1960, 37.8% of American women had jobs. By 1980, it had jumped to 51.1%. In 1990, it was 57.5%. And in 2003, 61% of American women were working.
Graph number 2.
Graph 2 shows the divorce rate in the United States. In 1960, the divorce rate was just 2.2 per 1,000 people. In 1970, it rose to 3.5. And in 1980, it jumped to 5.2. However, it declined in 1990 to 4.7, and in 2003, declined even more to 3.8 per 1,000 people.
Graph number 3.
Graph 3 presents information on people over age 65 who lived alone from 1970 to 2000. You need to make two sets of points here. Use an O for men and an X for women. In 1970, 35.9% of elderly women lived alone, compared to 10.8% of elderly men. In 1980, the percentage was 31.9% for women and 8.1% for men. In 1990, 51.8% of women lived alone, compared to 21.5% for men. And finally, in 2000, 40% of women and 17% of men were living by themselves.